So the woman on The View can't seem to let January 6th go. They are saying that January 6th should never be forgotten because it was pretty much one of, if not the worst day in American history, in their opinion. Let's tune into the video and see what's going on out here in these streets.
And it's the 4th year anniversary of the D.C. rally based on false claims of election fraud that blew up into the January 6, 2021 insurrection. Now, hours from now, Vice President Harris will fulfill her duty to certify the 2024 election. And she gave this message to the American people. Take a look.
The peaceful transfer of power is one of the most fundamental principles of American democracy. Today at the United States Capitol, I will perform my constitutional duty as Vice President of the United States to certify the results of the 2024 election. As we have seen, our democracy can be fragile, and it is up to then each one of us to stand up for our most cherished principles.
President Biden also penned an op-ed warning about the unrelenting effort to rewrite and even erase the history of that day. So is that what happened here? I mean, we all watched.
Yep.
I think most of us saw. I mean, some folks still say that's not what happened, but you know, but what do we do?
I think we need to find moral clarity, you know, in this country. And I just remember after January 6th, you had someone like Mitch McConnell placing the blame on January 6th where it belonged, squarely on Donald Trump's shoulders. And then you started seeing people backtrack that and losing their moral center. You had Condoleezza Rice, I believe, on this very show saying, you know, we need to move on from January 6th. I say no. You don't move on because January 6th was an atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history, you know, like World War II, things that happened, you know, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? It's 2025, and y'all are still comparing January 6th to the Holocaust, to slavery, to World War II. From the Holocaust Encyclopedia, about 6 million people, Jewish people, died in the Holocaust. There were 11 million victims of Holocaust, or 6 million Jewish victims, 5 million non-Jewish victims. Seriously, y'all do too much. It's not that serious. I like, it's been 4 years and y'all acting like millions were massacred during January 6th. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's time to move on, people. It's really time to move on. Like, I get it. It's a part of history. We gotta remember. It was not cool what they did. But to compare it to slavery and the Holocaust and World War II, like, that's a little dramatic.
We need to never forget, because past becomes prologue if you forget any race.
I want to ask you, Alyssa, because watching your evolution, when you look back, what goes through your mind?
I've been thinking a lot about this. I'll always be proud of Mike Pence for doing the right thing, but it's also an incredibly low bar. It's simply fulfilling the Constitution, just as Kamala Harris is going to do today, as Al Gore did before her. People have lost, and they've put the Constitution over their political ambitions. I have to say, I think there were warning signs, though, that we would be where we are today. And most Americans were not comfortable with January 6th. They thought it was bad. They thought it was awful. But for 4 years, they said, guys, we are hurting. The cost of living is too high. We are concerned about the border. I predicted here 6 months ago we were careening to Donald Trump's inauguration. People needed to listen that, yes, democracy matters, but if you can't pay your bills, it's hard to care about something as nebulous as democracy. And I think that the warning signs were there. And I say this with due respect to Joe Biden. I didn't disagree with a word he said in that op-ed, but people were saying, we have concern about your age. He waited till August and then gave Kamala Harris this runway to run for president. All the warning signs were there. This was Democrats. They had the chance to stop Donald Trump from being inaugurated. And here we are. But I hope people don't. I hope the whitewashing of January 6th ends. It wasn't right. It never will be, no matter how much people lie about it. But this was avoidable in my mind.
Well, and I think that it's
She kind of says some stuff that, you know, it's not like the rest of the View takes, which I appreciate, because if we heard an echo chamber of these women just agreeing with each other all the time, which they most likely they always do, and they're always usually wrong. But sometimes she has some good takes, which I do appreciate. Well, let's continue.
important thing is to commemorate it every year in a way, not to compare it to 9/11, because again, it's not an equivalent, but there are people alive today, including my niece, that didn't know 9/11. So when you talk to anyone that was alive during that time, you have a visceral fear response that takes you back there. January 6th and watching the videos that were playing out on screen, it shook you to the core.
Absolutely.
There will be a time when people will not know this unless they read about it, unless they're taught it. And hopefully we continue to show video every year on January 6th, because I won't tell you how to feel. You just watch that video and you tell me what you see. And I think it's also a reminder of how political and partisan the country's gotten to a dangerous point, because there's got to be an out of bounds, regardless of what party you're on. And I know a ton of people that are not rewriting this, that may have voted for Donald Trump, that are lifelong.
What, mommy's home? Okay. Come on, man. Bye, Stormy. I'm recording.
Republicans who still say January 6th was a disgrace. So it is one thing that we can all agree on and need to remember every anniversary.
What do you think, Anna?
I'm incredibly grateful to the January 6th committee. I'm incredibly grateful to the members of that committee, including Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger, the two Republicans who agreed to serve on it, because no matter how much they try to rewrite it, erase it, whitewash it, just lie about it, the truth is in that report, and it will stand. It will stand the test of time. I'm also very grateful to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for putting democracy first. Kamala Harris was swearing in as vice president. She swears in the newly elected senators. It included senators like Ted Cruz. It included senators like Dave McCormick from Pennsylvania, who attacked her. But you see, it's not about her. It's about the Constitution.
And every vice president does that.
And she's going to perform her duty today. And she's not just the vice president. She's also the woman who lost to Donald Trump. But she is a mature adult, not a toddler having a tantrum. She is a leader who understands that it is country first. She's going to go to the swearing in and watch him swear in, unlike
Something that he did not do.
And I agree with that. That's why I don't think that Kamala Harris is really getting a lot of backlash now that she lost. Obviously, when she was all going up against Trump, it was 1v1, anything goes. Now that she lost, clearly lost, people are starting to hold back on her. They're starting to let it ease out. But Joe Biden, on the other hand, he's still going to hear it, because he's the actual president. He's the actual person that is supposed to be in power right now, leading the country. And let's just be honest here. We haven't heard anything from him in a while. What has Joe Biden been doing? We're hearing from Kamala Harris more than we are Joe Biden. And that's how it should have been. But this is how it should have been months ago. Before Joe Biden started falling off the bikes and tripping up the private jets. This should have happened months ago. Let's continue, man.
But
For you.
I think we're
question.
missing something, if I could say real quick. We're missing something in the moment, though. I heard from a lot of people, because I testified before the committee, I testified before the Department of Justice. I met a lot of people who are like, we'll never like January 6th. It was never okay, but they were still voting on the issues that impact them the most. And I think it's very hard if someone says, I had more money when this person was in office, to say, but you have to care about democracy, or you have to care about the attack on the Capitol.
Well, you do, because if you don't have a democracy, you're not going to be getting you're not going to get the. I mean, we'll never probably ever agree on this, because Joe Biden, you know, the guy who's in now is now the oldest cat. I haven't heard anybody say anything about his cognitive.
I did throughout the whole campaign. I said they're both too old.
Well, you know, but to say he should have gotten out earlier, I don't know that anybody knows when somebody should have done something. That's all. Now, for me, it's all in the past. The things that.
No, it's clearly he should have gotten out early. I mean, everybody thinks that he should have gotten out early. Everybody thought that. That's why they pushed him out. They pushed him out because they knew he was not able to do it. And they tried to, for the longest time, they tried to say, no, he's good. He's a champion. He's a horse. He can do anything. No, we're not stupid. Don't lie to us. We want to see the truth. We know the truth. He was too old. He's clearly not on the same level when it comes to mindset or mentality as Trump. Now, yes, Joe Biden has accomplished a lot in his entire life. Nobody's taking that away from him. But the stage and the time stage that he is at now, he is not able to do this. He is not the best person for the job. Let's finish this video off.
That were concerning these folks did not concern me, and the things that were concerning me did not concern these folks. So there were lots of reasons why this happened. I just say it happened, and now we move forward. However, I do want to say that with all this attempt to erase stuff, you're really hoping that people are going to willingly be stupid. You want people, because there's a lot to really take in here. There's the fact that you've been 12, indictments. I mean, there's a lot to
34.
You know,
Yeah,
so there's a lot that you will want people to forget.
Counts. Can I ask you, what do you think will happen with this country when and if Donald Trump fulfills his promise to exonerate, basically, and pardon those that committed crimes, including assaulting police officers on January 6th. He says he's going to do that on day one.
Yeah, well,
in an effort to basically erase what happened.
I know, but, you know, this is what he says he's going to do. Let us see if he is able to do it. I don't know that he's going to be able to do it, or how it's going to sit with the American people.
Yeah.
That's the tricky part for him.
Yes.
Because he doesn't know
how people will react to that.
You know what's incredibly ironic, though, is that a lot of these.
Didn't Joe Biden just pardon mad criminals too? Like, that did even worse stuff? Seriously, man, y'all are so biased, bro. So biased.
These people, a lot of these elected Republicans who are trying to erase January 6th, there's video of them on January 7th and January 6th at night condemning Donald Trump.
They have forgotten. They have forgotten. They woke up and it was like, where am I? Who am I?
They have conveniently forgotten, because if you're going to be complicit in supporting Donald Trump and even working for him, like Marco Rubio, for example, you have to erase this, because if not, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am a hypocrite.
What we have to do is we have to make a decision that we're going to watch and see and react when there is a.
I didn't know Whoopi had no eyebrows. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I just peeped. I just noticed. Whoopi. It's not even a topic. I know. I got distracted. My bad, y'all. Anyways, let me know y'all thoughts about this down in the comments below. I really like to know y'all thoughts. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all viewership. Y'all already know, man. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if y'all are new. Got the View ladies giving their take on January 6th. Till next time, man. Peace.